Hey, so I just finished Dreamfall Chapters, The Longest Journey, which is the third and I'm gonna say final, seems like final, this story kind of wrapped up game in the series that is The Longest Journey, and then The Longest Journey Dreamfall The Longest Journey, I think, and now Dreamfall Chapters, The Longest Journey. Not the easiest of names to go with, but I'm pretty sure it also hasn't been the easiest of development for this game. Very fitting, it has probably been the longest journey, maybe even the longest. So, third game, it is still fully 3D and it looks amazing. It's very beautiful, it's fully realized. There's a lot of details, good amount of details on the characters and the environment that you walked around in. It is very nice to look at and pleasant to experience. If I remember, I'm pretty sure I tried to play this like many years ago. I want to say like 5, it's probably more, probably 10. So I tried to play this before and it did not make any sense. I remember not getting very far, just giving up. You need the other two first games, which I still think is worth it, but that means that you need to play some older games. And the first one, I made a review on it on my video. I'm not gonna go on about it. It still holds up, even though it is showing. Third one here felt nice and modern to play. It is a movie relevant experience. Some people might call it, walking simulator or something. The second game introduced combat, that is gone as here. It was bad combat, it was a good decision. There is no rush, no combat, no stress, no quick time events in this game. There's really not a lot of marksman, it's puzzle solving, kind of like very light puzzle solving. If it's not obscure, I'll get to it later. Just want to finish it. So it's a good relaxing time. I recommend get comfy. Find your movie long-term experience mindset. You have plenty of opportunities to refill drinks and snacks. Couch controller. Hot chocolate, slippers, pajamas, pants, whatever you need, you can relax and unwind with this game. You can die, it has no consequence, you get to retry. There are some weird and as per usual limited puzzles where like the solution is in the same room or just nearby, but because of the way the game functions, you kind of need to see or aim at the solution very precisely. So I at one point I gave every puzzle like a few minutes trying around, and then I kept a guide ready because the puzzles ends up being a block. They slow down the narrative, and I think if the game has any strength, if you're going to enjoy it, that's what you're going to be here for. This is that you're going to be comfy, you're going to be relaxed, you're going to turn off your action per minute, your kill brain. This is story time. Almost literally cozy up next to the fire. So if you're then getting that narrative, which is long, getting prolonged by some weird puzzles, that's not worth it. I took a guide, didn't ruin anything. A lot of it was also just, you need to look at this thing. So that wasn't as fun as it could be. This game really puts in from very early on choices, and the choices have consequence, and I believe it. Because you're kind of told, saying later on, you're saying this happens because you chose this earlier, or you make choices that this will have consequence later. I'm don't think I'm gonna replay the game just to see different choices, but it's a nice thing, and must have been pretty ahead of his time. Maybe if it was the in thing that time. It's not overly distracting. I don't. Yes, I don't think I'll go and play it again for different choices. They're not that. They don't seem to be that entangled in the story. Being that this is the third game in the trilogy, there's characters carrying over from previous game, a new one introduced, and that is not as handled as well as I thought it could be. Some characters are just dropped, completely out of nowhere, and others are really hastily brushed in. As usual, I'm trying not to spoil anything, and I'm pretty sure I'm not, but there's like a character that's essential for the ending that is very hastily introducing. Oh, this character was important, has been for a long time, but just introduced in this game. That's what happens sometimes, and it is when you can look back on the whole, you can say maybe this could have been better if this had been planned out. I don't know to what extent it was. And being the ending of the trilogy and looking back, one thing I said that it was a bit weird that this ending was the ending after 3 long games. I looked at Steam and said that I played the first game for 19 hours and then the second one for 16 and this one as well for 16, so that's in total 51 hours combined for the story. And then you look and say, okay, 51 hours, was this story worth being told over 51 hours? Because given the nature, at some point like it's world at stakes, given some of the things you spend time on, I could have imagined a better experience had been streamlined more. Still, 51 hours is only half of what I spent on Witcher 3, and I'll have the same criticism saying what an amazing experience this could have been as a around 20 hours of characters being established, things having consequences, action, systems, world building, instead of kind of like reinventing the wheel 2.5, 3 times. As I feel like the game series, when you look at it as a whole, sort of did. But I am happy with having played it, and if you are a narrative driven player and you can see yourself having this experience, go for it. I'm certainly not regretting it. There are still women in the underwear. That's nice. It was kind of like I was joking with some of my friends about saying, where's because every game starts, the first one and the second one starts with women in their underwear, and then the third one, this one kind of didn't, but then there was some women in underwear scenes. It's all just silly. Must have been an honor at that point. The game was genuinely funny. I remember having some laugh both with the game, a little about laughing at the games, but mostly laughing with the games. It has some funny characters. There's like a robot called Shitbot. That was a lot of laugh. But Shitbot is also one of the examples of saying, in the grand scheme of things, what's going on here? World building is the answer that I can come up with, just thinking about it a little. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of just stepping water here. 51 hours is taken on its hold, even though it's spread out over 3 games. 51 hours is a lot of fun, saying you are going to spend 51 hours playing these 3 games. Could have been better. But I think it's good still, and I'm glad I did, as I said. So I can recommend it if you don't need, a quick action fix and adrenaline junkie. If you want low and slow and world building, you can certainly do a lot worse than the whole Longest Journey and Dreamfall chapters, the Longest Journey. And I think I'm gonna end it there. Yeah, thank you for watching.